Okay, and here we go. Welcome everybody to the July 19th General Membership Meeting. I am your host this evening. My name is Michael. I am the Vice President. Our President is on the road, so he is joining us remotely, and I will be your captain this evening. So, moving through our agenda. It is a light agenda this evening. We are welcoming that because last week or last month was pretty heavy, so let's get underway. First, let's go over the ground rules real quick. Please enter your questions into the chat. If you're attending in person, please raise your hand and we will get the microphone over to you. Please do not interrupt others when they are speaking and behave with common courtesy. Our agenda, so we'll start with the Alderwoman with some ward updates. Then we'll move to the Treasurer's report, some community updates, and a crime and safety discussion with Officer Walker. Let's get it to it. Alderwoman, take it away.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I am going to update you with on the following topics: development, public safety, refuse and recycling, and miscellaneous. So I'll start with development. One moment, please. Somebody's coming in. Hello. Hi. Can you keep the door open? I don't know. Or could you answer the door? Because I'm on a board meeting right now. Oh, okay. That'd be great. Sorry about that. I'm in two meetings at once right now. Okay, here I go. So in terms of development, just recently, Green Street received tax abatement for 10 years at 90% for the 4591 McCree property, in which it went from $20 million commercial to $73 million residential. I was at the LCRA meeting where they were approved. I was asked at that meeting to have the decision delayed so that we could look at the substantial changes in the project as a community and analyze that. However, 2 out of the 3 commissioners decided that they were going to approve them for abatement without having any more community input. The other development is, as you know, we had Lux Living, and Lux Living is going to continue to go through the review process. They're going to be going up to the Cultural Review Office and the Preservation Commission, looking at demolishing those particular buildings. I did receive the letter from the Neighborhood Association regarding the culmination of those 3 development community engagement meetings. So at this point in time, I am going through the process as we go through the process with developers. And so that is still just a continuing process at this point in time. I've spoken with the developers. They are looking to put the egress and ingress off of Kings Highway, like the neighborhood wanted. My goal in terms of development is to make sure that we could start standardizing that process regarding development and tax incentives. And those are my updates for development in the neighborhood. Today was released. We are seeking new committee members for the Forest Park Southeast Development Review Committee. And the application will be posted on the Neighborhood Association website shortly. I have already posted it on Facebook and social media. Starting August 1st, the applications will be reviewed on a rolling basis. And tentatively, the third week in August will be a new member orientation. I think that the neighborhood association is also going to be posting a link in the chat today. So if you want to get the link for the application at this meeting, it should be posted in the chat today, but it will be also posted on the neighborhood association website. And in the flyer on the website, Aaron, who's an architect, he will be the point of contact for the committee. By September, it looks like we will have the equitable development contribution of that $1.8 million that was received a few months ago through the city foundry for affordable housing repair. It should be available in September. $900,000 will be going to 17th Ward residents who fit the guidelines for affordable housing to be able to get funds from that contribution. Next is public safety. I have been working on a harm reduction strategy because of that fentanyl incident in February, in which there were 9 overdoses, 7 were fatal. And I've been working with Professor Kenya Broomfield-Young at SLU University and Representative Kimberly Ann Collins and Congressman Cori Bush's office on this harm reduction strategy. And we're moving it forward. We're meeting with the Housing Authority, which the fentanyl instances happened. And so you'll get more information in the future on how that's working. We're going to be working actually with the Clark Fox Foundation in terms of creating a harm reduction ecosystem map so that particular providers in terms of drug use can be connected to one another. Next is board bills. Right now, we are in recess. We just went to recess on Friday. And in terms of board bills in September that are going to be coming up, there's Board Bill 64 I'd like you to make note of, because that is going to be a tax incentive reform board bill, Board Bill 64. And then Board Bill 44 is the establishment of a charter commission. The city charter are the laws that govern the city and how we should operate in City Hall. And what this board bill is looking to do is form a commission so that we will be updating the charter every 10 years after the census. And then lastly is there's going to be a launching of a Kings Highway traffic study from Lindell to I-64. And I would love to get your feedback in terms of safety and traffic conditions on Kings Highway for this study. It's going to be a study that's going to take about 6 months. And so it's going to be looking at the traffic conditions and the safety conditions. And then finally, the next 17th Ward meeting will be, we're going to have an August break, and it's going to be September 14th at 6:30. And the tentative topics will be looking at how do board bills get passed and also looking at the development process. And I would love if individuals email me with other suggested topics or speakers that they would like to have at the 17th Ward meetings. And that is it in terms of my report. And I'll take a couple questions.
All right, do we have any questions for Alderwoman Peel? I don't see any questions at this time. Oh, wait, hang on. We do have a question. When is the Kings Highway study starting?
It's going to be in about the next couple months for that. We still have to do a scoping meeting and have some other details nailed down. So there's going to be a consulting company, Lockmile Mueller Group, that has already done a study from Lindell North all the way to MLK. And so they did a study of that section of Kings Highway. But I'll keep you abreast on when this study will be starting. And thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman. I'm sure we're looking forward to that. Kings Highway could certainly use some traffic calming and pedestrian infrastructure. All right, moving on, we have the treasurer's report up next. That'll be given to you by our wonderful treasurer, Rachel Siegert. Rachel?
Thanks, Michael. This will be pretty short and sweet, but positive news when the bottom line for this month is a bigger number than the top line. So we started with $1,761.49, and we received one very generous donation from a Forest Park Southeast resident of $325 for dues and donations. And we just had our monthly Zoom expense of $14.99. So we ended the month with $2,071.50 in the bank account.
That is wonderful news. Thank you so much, Rachel. And as always, just a reminder to everybody, we do have membership dues, but they are pay what you can. So to become a member, we suggest a donation of $10. But if that's too much for you at the time, go ahead and talk to us, and we're happy to let you be a member for whatever you can pay. You can pay in two methods. You can pay by Cash App. That is our Cash App up there on the screen. And you can also pay us by check or cash. Go ahead and send us an email and we'll tell you where to drop that off. All right, next we have some community updates. And I'm going to first turn it over to Zen. He's a neighborhood resident who has some updates on traffic and transportation.
Hi, thanks. So it looks like my notes are on the screen. I'll go over my notes. A couple of years ago, you might recall that I presented on the parking district and all of its uselessness. Here we are a couple of years later. And if you remember also in my last report, I mentioned that there was a possibility of a new system coming into place despite what the city already has to offer in Park Central Division. Everybody that's in the district should know that Park Central has sent everybody a letter indicating that they no longer do anything about permitting. And that happened a couple months ago. Since then, the city has not done anything about it. And I called all 4 different departments, starting with the parking bureau, who then just immediately refers me to the street department, traffic and streets department, which the ordinance, so we all know, we all live in this districts and we know that the ordinances were put in place by the alder people, right? The ordinance has an administrator, and that's done through the traffic division. And the secretary there, Coven, I can't see in my notes on the screen. Lenny. Anyway, the lady in the traffic division, their responsibility is simply to approve of the parking permits, what they're going to look like. They do nothing else, no enforcement, no distribution. That is then referred to the treasurer's office. The treasurer's office is in control of all of that. And I've sent them multiple emails and gotten no response. The contact I found out though from her is Lenny. And there's his information if you wish to email him. He's not very excited about having everybody in the neighborhood call him. They said that there will be updates on the treasurer's website. If you've been to the treasurer's website, it's got various menus to click through. So I'm sure they'll just add something in for parking district when they figure that out. Now, when I also talked to William, his information's up there, from the parking enforcement office, who I talked to at length years before, told me he doesn't know anything yet because it's in the treasurer's office department. But if to recall what we discussed before, he's been around for decades, and they have forever in the city been issuing hang tag parkings for very special business and stuff. And again, this is something that is so small, it's way smaller than our districts combined. But he had then said that they had the capacity of doing something. And all he knows is that he believes that the treasurer's office will be handing them the responsibility once they do a rollout and figure out what they want to do with it. The only other thing that I was able to find out, which Will didn't know, nor did the admin, was that there's been talks that there will be a sticker system instead of necessarily a hang tag. What's not said in my notes is that the current districts are all slightly different, and police are not helpful. And I've explained that there in my notes. So in order for them to be helpful, there will have to be some uniformity. And that'll probably also have to go back to the lady responsible at that department in the traffic division to approve of whatever sticker. I'm sure they're already doing that with the treasurer's office, but everybody should have to be the same, because the experience is working with the police to get a ticket is mute until they have some form formal. And she also gave me the information to talk to the police authority. What's his name? Whatever. But I'm not going to bother with that. The police are not interested. According to William, police are not interested anyway. And as per always, and parking enforcement, if somebody's in violation, you can call them. There's their number. They're from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., which would be about 9:30. And they don't even have the authority to tow vehicles, only police do, and police can ticket for whatever, but the police aren't interested in ticketing right now anyway. So that was unfortunate for the people that are closer to the Manchester, where all the violations tend to happen in the evenings, but we do have until 9:30, 10 to get that resolved. So the other takeaway is that his department and traffic division, and obviously not the parking bureau, none of those three are interested in writing letters to solve the problem of people that are currently violating because they have no choice but to violate should they get a ticket. That would probably have to rest upon the treasurer's office, and I haven't heard from Lenny yet. So there it is. If you get in a ticket and you want it removed because you're not violating, then you have to go to the treasurer's office currently and get a letter. I think that covers everything.
Okay, thank you, Zen. So again, if you do have a violation you need to report, that number is up on the screen. And I want to say thank you to Zen for really following up on this. I know it's a complicated issue and it seems to still be evolving. So we really appreciate the work on that, and keep up the good work, Zen. Okay. Oh, there's the last page of that. Leave that on the screen for just a second. Okay, moving on. Just a couple community updates. We have two remaining neighborhood cleanups. We had one on July 16th. We cleaned up a small corner of the neighborhood. Our next one is August 20th and September 17th. So please put those on your calendars. This is a great opportunity to get out there, clean up our community. Up there, you can see a picture from our June cleanup. You can see we picked up an old CRT TV that was manufactured in 2003. So you never know what you're going to find. Our neighborhood night out is coming up on Saturday, September 3rd. We're hoping to plan a fun night for you. And it's another good reason to pay your dues to the neighborhood association so that we can afford to do this fun night for you. But regardless, the event is free. We hope to see our members of the community out at that, enjoying food and fun and seeing and meeting your neighbors. And then we are planning on a tree planting. The date is still to be determined, but it will be sometime in the fall. We'll get some trees planted in our neighborhood. I know we have a lot of trees, but some blocks are missing them, and we're aiming to fix that. So keep an eye out for that. And we have an event committee. it will help us plan things like the neighborhood night out, which I was just mentioning. If you'd like to join the event committee and help us design flyers, help coordinate events, and help draft sponsorship opportunities, send us an email at forestparksoutheast@gmail.com. Park Central has a exterior maintenance program for seniors. If you're over 60, you might qualify. You must reside in the neighborhoods listed there on the screen. Our neighborhood does qualify. They will do bi-weekly lawn care, tree pruning or removal, and in the winter, they can do snow removal. You can contact Park Central. Email address and phone number is down below. It's a great service. If you just don't have a lawnmower or you just need a little extra help getting that lawn taken care of, this is there to help. It's a great community resource, and we really appreciate Park Central for providing that. Next, we have our crime and safety discussion. Is Officer Walker on the call? Don't see her. Okay, well, we're going to move on. She did ask us to share this information with you. Give you all a second to look that over. Some pretty standard stuff here. When to call 911 for emergencies. There's a different number for non-emergencies. And reminder to park smart and don't leave valuables in your car or in sight or in plain view. And be careful about where you store your firearms. As always, we don't want bad people getting their hands on your weapons, so please store them safely and responsibly. Some more notices. Keep an eye out when you're pumping gas. It's a valuable commodity these days. And keep an eye on those carburetors that they're stealing. There is a protective kit that you can get. Contact the police department for more info on that. There it is. On the left, you'll see that cage you can buy to put around the catalytic converter. And this is your reminder too, to submit any requests, any problems to the city. You can submit it to the Citizen Service Bureau. This is a fantastic service, and I've used it several times. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll notice me tweeting at them a lot because it's an easy way to report a dumpster missing a lid or a sidewalk that needs repair or a tree that might be dead and needs trimming. Anything the city handles, you can report it there and they will help take care of it. Very helpful service. It makes it easy to do. And if every citizen used this, we would really help track our problems in our city and take care of them. So the phone number is there, but the easiest way to contact them is by going on the website and click on report a problem, select the problem category, and you can report the location. You can upload photos. Photos are very helpful for finding things like potholes or other things that might not be readily noticeable. And this is a great way to help our city out. And then here are some more numbers for different contacts in our neighborhood associate or in our neighborhood. And I think I saw Ron Coleman on the call tonight. Ron, not to put you on the spot, do you have any updates to share with us?
I do actually. So I will go right ahead. And if any of you are on the call or in person and don't know who I am the liaison to the neighborhood from the city. So I'm city employee out of the Neighborhood Stabilization Division and Public Safety Department. So my job is just to try to make you guys happy and solve problems if there are any. I proactively monitoring the neighborhood for infrastructure concerns, traffic issues, safety, nuisance problems, all kinds of things. So, and I talk to the commissioners of all the departments pretty much every week, and Officer Walker, talked to her today. I think her report, you guys did a good summary of what she would have said. She's out ticketing vehicles too. We talked about one today we're trying to get removed that's been abandoned. So if you let me know where these issues are, I can try to speed them up. Citizen Service Bureau is excellent as well. They're short-staffed too, like our department right now, and pretty much every other department in the city. But we're trying our best. And right now, I've also got Ward 19, so got 2 wards right now that I'm trying to keep track of. Let's see. The first is thank you guys for the neighborhood cleanup. That's just outstanding. You guys are a great neighborhood association. You know, especially right now with city services struggling, the citizens kind of stepping up is just really, really helpful. And I know, you know, I did today pick up trash in my own alley that needs to be in the dumpster. So just we're trying to get the trash picked up, trees trimmed, but again, it's just a labor shortage. So if you know anyone who needs a job with great benefits and pension and everything, they're trying to raise salaries and wages as well. So, but there's 1,000 jobs open at least with the city, and all professions from legal to nursing, healthcare, airport, you know, streets, every profession and labor job you can think of. So please spread the word and just go to the city website /jobs, and all the salaries are listed as well. So you can see if something would fit for you. Also, please help water the trees, especially the young trees. They're struggling. We always lose a certain percentage of those every year that we planted. They need 2 years of good watering to get established. And if it's a narrow tree lawn, maybe a little bit more, but go ahead and water your yard, your tree. You know, there's no meters on our water in the city, so feel free to help out and water that tree if you can. Let's see. The Grove Community Improvement District, you know, collects sales tax from the business district, and they spend it obviously on safety and patrols and that kind of thing, but also on trash pickup and beautification. And this year they're also paving some alleys for you guys in the alleys south of Manchester and north of Manchester. There's about 4 or 5 alleys that are going to get paved. So I'd like to thank them. I worked with them on that ask and they agreed. So get that, hopefully in the next month, those will be done in August. And there's a few streets too, I think 4,300 Gibson between Boyle and Tower Grove is going to be paved. The Van Deventer, the stretch we all hate to drive on from Tower Grove to 44 was funded by Alderman Peel this year. So let's see. Oh, the parking that Zen gave a good summary on. Lenny's out on vacation this week. I tried to reach out to him for something too, but I'll be happy to follow up with them and try to get this whole sticker process moving forward faster. I do have a question though. Do you know if you did renew your permit prior to June 30th when Park Central stopped the services, were you able to get a permit for this coming year? Does anybody have permits for the period we're in right now? Or all those expired?
Oh, well, I have, if you had gotten permits previous, so your question is like, if anybody got them recently
Yeah,
before the
so
end?
there are valid permits out there, but if you're a new person, you can't get one, basically, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And in the treasurer's department, everybody, all three different departments have the knowledge, at least by me, to
Yeah.
Will, now that the existing expired tags are valid, and that's the way it is, and they would be
Oh, okay.
accepted. The
Okay,
existing
but
expired tags are valid.
that
The
doesn't help the
problem-
new people, right?
Exactly. It doesn't help the new people. There's no way to get a permit right now.
So
And if
I
a
will
new-
try, I'll try to talk to the treasurer's office and ask them to hold off on enforcement.
I believe they already are. They're not
Okay.
enforcing it.
Okay.
The problem then occurs to should a ticket actually happen, because it's possible.
Oh, yeah,
The
they'll
only,
take care of it.
the only way, well, somebody has to have a letter. The parking bureau is completely uninterested in anything anybody has to say or do unless you have a letter. The letter has to come from somebody.
Well, you could, if you want to just email me, send an email detailing the time you got the ticket and scan a copy of the ticket. I'll just forward it to them and they should be able to clear it out. So,
That's really helpful. Thank you, Ron.
yeah, sure. Okay, I think I'm looking through my notes. I think that's,
Do have a
That's
quick
it.
question for you.
Sure.
Is the funding and spending information available to the public, like specifically like for streets or alley paving? Who decides how to spend that, and is that information available?
so annually, usually in April or May. It was later this year because COVID and everything. All the alder people meet with all the commissioners of the various departments. So street, refuse, parks, forestry, etc. And they bring a request. They say, I need $20,000 for new dumpsters in your ward. Do you agree to fund it? And the alderman will say yes, or no, but usually yes, because everybody wants dumpsters. They'll say, we want to plant this many trees, or we've had this many requests from citizens to plant trees. We need, $25,000 for trees. Would you agree to fund that? And she'll say yes, or she'll say, and I sit in on those meetings, so I'll say, hey, we'd like to do more than that. So can we give a little bit more money, and maybe you guys can plant some more trees? So, but it's every alderman has discretion over how they want to spend their ward capital. Every alderman gets the same amount of money, which is around $300,000 a year. So that includes street paving, new dumpsters, trees, everything. So street lights, all that. I think you guys know that Forest Park Southeast has an infrastructure committee that's getting geared up again. So they're going to advise the alderwoman on issues that they think need to be prioritized funding wise. But ultimately, it's the alderman's decision. Does that help?
Yes, I think that answers our question. Thank you.
Okay.
And thank you for all that information. It's just a reminder that this city is a great city when we all pitch in, and our city staff is doing their best right now. So that means, the citizens stepping up can really help close that gap while they're still hiring on more people. And if you know anybody, lots of jobs available. Thank you for that reminder as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate your help and patience.
Appreciate you. Thank you. All right. And that's it for our meeting. We're just going to go over the next events coming up. We've got our next meeting on August 16th. Put it on your calendar, same time, same place. And our next cleanup event is August 20th. We'll give you a reminder about it at that Tuesday meeting. And we hope to see all of you out there. It's, again, a great opportunity to help clean up our streets. And hopefully the weather will be a little nicer in August, but we'll see. All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight, and have a good night.